Howdy, y'all. So on the next episode of Ricky's Big World, we gonna spill all the tea.
What I have a problem with, my leg fell off. Just my leg.
Back in the pizza world caverns, behind the test ovens, and in reality next to the bathrooms, it's Ricky's Big World.
Hi, this is Ricky, and this is another episode of Ricky's Big World. So, what I have a problem with, my leg fell off. Just my leg. Don't just hand it to me on the camera. I can't believe I got that right there. I had taken it off a little bit to loosen it up. You gonna put my leg?
What? Did it just do that?
Yeah. I clicked it off a little bit because it was getting some pressure from sitting here for so long.
I
And
need to
then
file
I moved my
assault charges.
leg, and then it fell over.
He just hit me with his leg. You heard it. I felt it.
You can't prove it.
I got audio.
You can't prove it hit you. You didn't say nothing. You didn't say no ow or nothing like that. So stop.
I
was
got
in
it
shock.
On, I can't believe I got it on camera.
Me either. Oh,
TikTok,
Lord.
here we come.
We are not cutting that out.
No, this is
That
I don't know
is,
what this weed stuff is.
that's real life.
What do you want to talk about, Roxanne?
authentic.
What do you want to talk about?
Oh.
You know what the funny thing is? It's always the left leg. Even at the radio station, it's always the left
Always
leg.
love.
I thought it's supposed to click.
It does click. Did you not hear what I said? I said I went to unclick it to release some pressure because it was hurting, and I moved my leg the wrong way, and it came out, and then it fell. Okay, so I did not know it was gonna fall.
Hey, next time, can you give me a heads up? I'm relieving some pressure.
No, I ain't telling you, Jack, nothing. That's my business.
because
So
That's
because
appropriate. I'm relieving some pressure.
it's HIPAA. It's HIPAA. Okay, it's HIPAA violation.
HIPAA. Well, your HIPAA almost violated me.
All right.
So, can we talk about something else besides my physical disability?
We were
We love you for your.
I was
You're
thinking-
appreciated.
about your last day at KMRY,
Okay.
and there was a conversation you had with Bob when he came into the station, because there's been a very long going joke between the two of you, and you've teased him for a very long time about something he says is not true. So I just, for the sake of him, because he's not here to argue his point, I would like to say that he says this isn't true, this is just you trolling him. But you play Janet Jackson for him.
Yes, because
Can
he
you-
told me he loves Janet Jackson, that he dances around the Pizza World kitchen dancing to Janet Jackson because y'all play our station in the speaker zone.
Again, he's not here to defend himself. So
Right, so be quiet so I can tell you what I'm trying to tell he said.
allegedly.
All right,
Convenient.
so we were talking one day about Janet Jackson, and he had mentioned one of the songs that played all the time, whatever it is. All right, so every time I would play the sponsorship at 10:35, I would try to play either Janet Jackson, a song by Janet Jackson afterwards for him, or a Dave Matthews song for Kyle.
But you would specifically dedicate it to him. Like
I
you
would-
told the listening audience
You
this was
would go
for
out of
Bob.
the way.
Escapade was one of my favorites, or Nasty by and I tell everybody, I'll start playing the song will come on, the intro, and I'll say, okay, if you were in the studio or in the Pizza World right now, please get out your camera and click, take pictures of Bob dancing because he loved Janet Jackson. Bob, here is Janet Jackson for you. Yes, I did that.
Okay. Well, it got me thinking, because that's all alleged. I don't know if that's true for
It
him.
is
He's
true.
not here to
I'm here
defend
telling you.
himself.
Hey, you don't have to be here. You know. In
preaching
fact,
the gospel.
I bought Bob a pair of Janet Jackson draws, and B a Janet Jackson COVID mask
For Christmas.
For Christmas,
Oh.
because of the China issue at the time with freight coming in, I never got it.
I think you got that off of Temu, though, didn't you?
No, I got it off of Amazon,
Oh.
but it came from China.
Well, it made me wonder what kind of music you and Jeff like
This might
that
be
would
interesting.
surprise people. What's some stuff that you guys like that would maybe surprise people? Because if you knew my dad, you wouldn't look at him and be like, Janet Jackson fan. Probably because he's not. Again, he's not here to defend himself. But it is a
Got to quit
surprising...
worrying about whether he's there.
It is a surprising accusation. Allegedly, yeah. So what music do you guys love that would surprise us?
Would it surprise you that I'm a country fan?
Oh, that's not fair.
That's not fair?
No,
That's not
you're
fair.
from Georgia.
Yeah.
Dang, stereotype.
Well, it is what it is.
Do
what
they
it is.
have other music in the South?
Okay, I was surprised.
Isn't that just music?
I like classical music and I like opera.
Like opera. Okay, that is surprising.
I like opera. Classical music, I like Vivaldi. I listen to that.
So educated. Fancy.
Have
So
you
cultured.
have you
Look at that.
pinkies up? Bing. Have you ever listened to Jonathan and Charlotte? Jonathan and Charlotte were on America's Got Talent, and or maybe American Idol. I can't remember. Anyway, they sung a wonderful song. It's God, what's the name? Monde il Noche. Anyway, it's Italian, and they sung it beautifully. I love the song. In English, it's like "Saved Your Life" or "Saved the Day" or whatever it is, but they sing it beautifully, and I can listen to that. That's all they do is that type of operatic music.
Yeah.
And but yes, Jonathan and Charlotte are phenomenal. I think they've broken up as a group, and so they went their separate ways. But Jonathan has an amazing voice, so does Charlotte. But I do like listening to opera and going to operas and going to different plays, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because of the like you listen to Mozart, listen to Bach and some other things like that. The backstory behind it is what I like the most. You know how you hear one person was blind and deaf. So how did they make
Right.
that music?
Yeah.
The mentality to put that on paper to say, okay, this section does this. That's why I love going to Orchestra Iowa.
Oh, yeah.
And Orchestra Iowa, for example, played Casablanca on the screen, but they had the orchestra behind them playing all the music from the movie.
That's so
Oh,
cool.
that's really cool.
Yeah.
And that was the coolest thing to go see. Jennifer and I went and saw it. They did it again with Wizard of Oz. And so
Wow.
to hear that
Score.
genius that they do, I can't remember if they did Alien or not, but anyway, just a simple point. I like that kind of music too. So yeah, I get that y'all not surprised about the country music because my very first radio station was country.
I was going to say, like, it's maybe surprising to people who are listening or watching this because they came over from KMRY and you play, more popular music.
60s through the 90s,
Yeah.
but mostly I was sitting on the 70s and 80s.
So I think for that audience, that's probably pretty surprising.
What about you?
I'm not getting that deep. I'm not getting into opera and all that. The Gregorian chant was a big thing when I was growing up.
Enigma.
Yes,
Enigma was
that
so
was
good.
I was really into that.
I still listen to Enigma to this day.
Really.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say country, but not today's country.
Like 90s country.
It,
90s country's the best country.
if it's got a steel guitar in it,
Like Clint Black is good, but let's go back to Patsy Cline.
I don't know.
that's like Western almost.
No, it's
Yeah.
not. No, it's not. Like, all right,
Okay,
Hank Williams Sr.
Okay.
What kind of country were you talking about that you like? Like that?
Right.
I'm a Hank Williams Jr. fan, not Senior, because Senior whines too much in
You
his
just
voice.
did a new song with Post Malone.
I like Toby. See, I don't like Post Malone.
Yeah. Well, those are
Post-
those are fine words right now.
You know, I don't care. 'Cause
It's a two on one right now.
I can't understand how he became famous. But here's the thing: I have to admit, the man's a genius
Yeah.
because
That's how
he
became
was.
famous.
But I can't get him. I really cannot get it.
You don't hear him. You not listening to him then.
I love how.
Well, y'all can worship him all you want to. I'm not going to.
but
Okay, good.
But I love how
He's versatile.
he has always been honest about who he is and the music he likes. Like his first song that he was famous for was hip hop, and he was really big in hip hop for a while.
Yeah.
And that's how it started. But he's always been very honest. Like he's like, I'm a nerd. I like video games, and I love '90s country music, and I love that has always been him.
He's with everybody.
But my issue with him is that I think with me, I like someone that sticks to one thing. You know what you're good at.
That's realistic.
That's not what he does.
That isn't.
But that's what my respect for him is, because he does it.
Did you hear how he did this new country album? Like, he went down to Tennessee. He spent time in Tennessee, and he goes, I want writers. He goes, I don't want the people that, write those pop songs. He goes, I don't want that. I want real people from Tennessee, the real writers who write these songs. And he spent a lot of time, and that album is so good. And granted, he has a lot of guest spots on there with a lot of people like Hank Williams Jr. and stuff like that.
Well, it's the top of the podcast about what music I like. So I'm just telling you what I don't like. I just don't like. He's okay, but I can't listen to him. So it is what it is.
Have you tried to listen to his
I
new
listened
album?
No, I have not heard anything past the very first thing.
I would be interested to see what you think of his new country
And
album.
I tell you what, I will actually listen to it on the way home. I will listen to it.
Okay.
So how do you feel about Taylor Swift then? Because she started out country.
That's a good
I
question.
respect
And
Taylor
then-
Swift for her music, for creativity, but also for what she gives back to the community.
Right.
That's the big
But
thing.
she's also somebody who switched genres.
Right.
But early.
She followed that money.
Seems like he
What do you
switches
mean
all the
early?
time.
She had won so many awards prior to her.
That
moving
may be,
over.
but she's not too far out of the way. He
Because she's
seems
young?
to switch all the time. That may be a factor though, because she's still young. I mean, don't ask me what I want or like and don't like, and then
What-
scold me about it. I'm just trying to tell you.
What about Jelly Roll then?
I love Jelly Roll.
Oh, Lord.
I do. I love Jelly. But when
He
it comes,
is soulful when he sings. He started out rapping, though, in the
right. It's like Queen Latifah. I love Queen Latifah's work too, huh?
Post Malone's younger than Taylor Swift. I just
Really?
looked it up.
I have no idea how old he is.
Taylor Swift is 34 and Post Malone is 29.
He looked older than that.
Well, he
Well,
got
he's
a lot
been
of
through a
tattoos.
lot.
He's lived a
maybe,
life.
maybe. I don't know nothing about it. So evidently y'all need to form a club.
Maybe
for
we
Post.
already do, and you just don't know. You ain't
Posties.
been invited to it.
'Cause I would never accept that invitation. So we good.
Anyway,
Rude.
go ahead.
Leave me alone.
Go ahead.
Turn it down.
Being raised in the 80s, I always loved breakdancing music. So I loved that type of authentic breakdancing. So when the Olympics came out with breakdancing, I was excited.
Oh, okay.
But and they're still, I think, going to keep the youth breakdancing, but they're getting rid of the adult after all.
Well, thanks to Australia.
Wait,
I said what I said.
I know.
I said what I said.
all right, fair enough.
Everything's been said under the sun about her. I'm gonna leave Reagan alone. I'm gonna leave her alone.
You can't have a nickname if you can't dance.
There was a documentary talking about how she got there, and it was not pretty. So
Just like her dance.
I'm just gonna leave
interpretive.
it alone. Leave it alone. I like. Also, I get into NWA, and I get into a bunch of that hard rap. I can get into hard
Who's
metal.
your favorite rapper?
I'm really into Snoop Dogg. I really like Snoop.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I like listening to Snoop Dogg.
Some West Coast stuff.
NWA though.
Ice
Run
Cube.
DMC was big. I used to love Run DMC.
Who's your
Right.
favorite rapper?
Yeah,
Because
I
you're,
never-
you're a millennial.
he likes Sisters with Attitude.
Cisco. What you talking about? Kidding.
No,
Sisters is not
bad. Actually, Sisters
I never.
very talented.
I never really got into any of that rap stuff. Just with my upbringing,
Oh,
we weren't really allowed to listen to that
not
until
even like Eminem.
Eminem was
He was
on the
soft,
verge.
though.
On the verge of me being able to have my own kind of viewpoints on stuff. I liked him. I like him more now than I did back then.
How about Nas?
Never really got into
Something
him.
wrong. I can't get into some of the stuff that he sings.
Yeah.
Or does.
Never got into him. Nelly, a little bit.
Did you walk around with a Band-Aid on your face or anything?
I was like,
No.
no, I didn't. But I do
Two
sit in
times a nickel and a quarter is good too. I like 50 cent.
50 Cent.
No?
Being older and listening to those words now means so much more than when I was listening to it back then.
Wait till you have a daughter. That's when the music really changes for you, because you hear all these negative connotations about women and girls that you used to really vibe with.
Yeah.
Yes.
The next thing you know, you're like, whoa, wait a minute, I got a daughter now.
That's my
I feel
baby
like
girl.
Buckcherry is one of those songs. Like, I really like that song, and
Yes.
then I heard it as more of an adult, and I was like, oh, not a vibe anymore. Like, not the same vibe.
I went up to Mankato State, I think it was, up in Minnesota with my little sister. We made a road trip to go see Buckcherry up there. And now I think back, and I'm like, no.
We went to a Metallica concert in Atlanta years and years ago. And
How was that?
Listen,
rad.
so Tommy Lee was there with his chesty cam, and
The chesticles.
What?
They're called chesticles.
Chesticles. So he was there with his chesticle cam, we'll call it that. And my sister said, I want to be immortalized. And so he starts walking by with his cam right by her, and she was just about to raise her shirt up when out of the corner of her eye, she saw the because she was working with dental hygiene or whatever at the time, and she saw the father of one of the kids that she works on.
Oh
his
my
teeth.
goodness.
Oh,
Could you
Lord.
imagine?
She couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I don't blame her.
But her husband at the time was really not with it either. It's like, well,
That was a business decision made right then.
business. You right? It wasn't.
How's the concert, though?
Concert was great. I tell you, the concert.
Rad.
I went to a Beastie Boy concert when I was a kid,
That's
and we got pulled out. So my cousins and I were sitting there watching. Now we didn't know what to expect with the Beastie Boy concert. So we're sitting there, we're watching this again in Columbus, Georgia, and next thing you know, they pull out a couch and they get these girls up there and they're doing some things that. Then they had a 18-foot blow up phallus.
Was this concert on a Sunday? I hope.
Oh yeah, it's holy day.
Oh, Lord.
Next thing you know, I feel somebody grab the back of my shirt, and my auntie snatches all three of us out of that thing.
Bald-headed.
Bald-headed. And she said, she did not speak the entire time, and she told us we ain't talking. She said, when you said Beastie Boys, I thought you meant they was like, they work for veterinarians and zoos and stuff. I didn't know it was going to be about this kind of stuff.
You on the other side of that Zoom.
And then Bobby Brown came in there. He actually got banned from Columbus, Georgia, because of what he said, because they had an agreement. He was not supposed to say this and say that. And what does he do? He says this and he says that.
Right
so
off the bat.
the police came in during the concert, shut it down, said, you got to go. And he got banned from Columbus, Georgia. He can never perform there again. Not anybody would want to listen, but
Nah, I mean, those trials and tribulations, but
yeah, there's some concerts I've been to that, you know, people are like, oh, you like that kind of music? Junkanoo, I love Junkanoo.
Your first concert.
All right, so my first concert was Billy Ocean in Columbus, Georgia, back in the late '70s, maybe early '80s, and I wound my way into going, and it was phenomenal. I loved it. And then I went to a Billy Ocean here in Iowa at the Riverside Casino, so I was able to see him twice in my
That's
life.
really cool, though.
White hair and all, but his face still looked the same, and that grin. And he was rocking it. What about you? What was your first concert?
I think it was Brooks and Dunn.
Really?
Yes.
That surprises me.
Yeah.
You're not
This is back in the '90s when I was really into that country.
Brooks and Dunn, though, respect.
They played here in Cedar Rapids. Yeah, it was here at what was then the Five Seasons Center. probably well before you guys.
No,
moved
I was
here.
here. Was the 5 seasons?
5 seasons.
And the U.S. Cellular Center.
Yeah, and then it turned into all that. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was pretty wild. It was a unique experience because I'd never been to anything before, and I didn't know what to expect. And excuse me, just knowing their music, liking it, and being able to sing along
Yeah.
was a lot of fun. Granted, I was a little kid, and I don't really do the concert scene. But
I used to, but
yeah,
I don't like it now.
I would love to be able to see all these older bands. Tears for Fears.
I think they're touring.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Kiss. I mean, Rat, Poison.
Rat. Oh yeah.
You know, all these older bands that I grew up listening to, the 80s
Yeah.
bands.
But he was that group was your first one.
Sammy Hagar, you know, all of them.
Sammy Hagar.
Yeah, my dad just got back from his birthday bash in
Because he grew up in
I
this
didn't-
neighborhood, didn't he?
So Sammy Hagar is from Fontana, California,
Yeah.
which is where my family is from, or not Sammy Hagar. No, it was Sammy.
Yeah,
Hagar.
Sammy Hagar.
Yeah, it is. And
Who is the lesser of the Van Halen, by the way? But go ahead.
he's from that area, and he
Sorry, Sammy. He said that, not me. I just agreed with it.
from what I understand, he's pretty good friends with my uncle at the time, and he apparently had a crush on my aunt.
Becky.
No,
Oh, good Lord.
on my mom's side of the family. And my aunt was like, I don't want to date him because he's just a musician. And
That was a business decision.
Yeah.
It was made poorly.
that's what I've been told. So I should ask her.
I like his
actually. I should
cooking
call her up
show.
and ask her. Yeah.
His cooking show. That's pretty good.
I didn't do like big concert venues at first. Like my stuff, like when I was starting to go to concerts, punk was really popular. So it was like these small venues where you had like a few hundred people.
So, what was your first concert?
The Spill Canvas was my first like small venue concert, and then like bigger was Blue October.
Oh, okay.
I was really into like punk and then really into rock when I was younger. So like things like Breaking Benjamin and Cedar, Korn.
Yeah.
Did you? This is going a weird direction. Did you ever watch that TV show called Gilmore Girls?
You were talking about how much you love Gilmore Girls before, but I haven't.
The reason
He's
why
got the box set.
No, we don't have to. We keep watching it over and over again on Netflix. But so there's an episode where the mom from Happy Days plays the grandmother of one of the Gilmore Girls. Well, she came in to town because she lives in London. She comes to town and she said, "Well, I was just settling some affairs." And because I have, these renters that are renting the place, and they do a lovely job. They put in this beautiful garden and everything, and their name is Corn. And they looked at her and they said, "Corn? You mean?" She said, "Yeah, they spell it weird, like with a K and very lovely gentleman." And it was just that scene of Korn renting her home, and then they do the gardening and they do all this other stuff.
All of that.
It just not hit the vibe with the
Their
group.
music, yeah.
But I like Korn too.
Yeah.
But I guess one of the things is it's like the extremes, like with rap music. I love rap music, but when it starts getting to the extremes where it is just hard on women or hard on whatever, and it's just violent, I don't like that. But heavy metal, when it gets to the point where I can't understand you because you're screaming, I can't do it. Country music, when country music gets to the point where it is just nothing but complaining in the music, I don't like it. Now, I'll say this. I used to not like Luke Bryan. Even though Luke Bryan is a Georgia boy.
That's surprising to me.
I love
That's
listening
like fighting words, I'd say.
Why?
Like, you not...
Because he's a Georgia boy?
Yeah, like,
Man.
that's your boy.
Alright, so Luke,
I guess not.
I started respecting Luke after I saw him on American Idol. Is it American Idol or American Idol Talent he's on?
American Idol.
Okay, so with Kelly Perry.
Katy Perry?
Katy Perry. Katy
gone.
Perry. No, I'm just saying he was on there with her
Yeah.
and Lionel Richie.
Right.
So
Lionel Richie, another great concert.
another great, yes. So I started respecting him more when I saw how he treated other people. Before then, I kept seeing him wearing skinny jeans, and he was trying to be just something outside of country. I didn't like him. But to hear his music, I was listening to it today, his one of his albums, and I think he's great. But it's only because after I saw he treats people, and especially the ones that are more of the underdogs. So
Well, I mean, can you call today's country actually country, though? Because
Some of us-
I think country today is
depends on who it is.
pop.
Eric
Country.
Church is not pop.
Exactly. Okay.
Okay.
But I think you've taken some of the musical aspects of country music out of country music.
Yeah, especially when they do that.
You don't have a steel guitar in a country song. Is
That's
it
Western.
country?
Yeah, that's
I mean,
it's not sounds Western though.
Brooks and Dunn has steel guitar. Clint Black, Rio.
Yeah, I know you don't. Diamond.
Yeah, Rio Diamond.
Yeah.
Listen to all of their music, and it's got a steel. That's not Western though.
Some of it can it borders the line, but I mean when you get to different people like
Like, what do you think about like Zach Bryan or
Sorry.
Morgan Wallen
Pop.
or Morgan Wallen?
I like some
Zach
of his
Bryan's
music.
pop.
I'd say he's going for that vibe. If you can hear that song on a pop station,
Like Luke Combs.
where are you going? What is your
Luke
genre?
Combs, I like him too. What gets me too is that country rap.
Oh,
And when
yeah.
they try to do country, and all of a sudden it's like, in my house on the dog and the dog, and I'm like, shut up.
Nelly
That
and
is no.
Florida Georgia Line,
The Florida Georgia Line is a great group. We're
but
saying
they
in
mixed
that,
it with Nelly, and that's what.
mixing it like that can be okay, but it's like I can't remember which artist it was who decided to do country rap, and I can't listen to it. Now my brother loves
Jelly
it.
Roll?
Loves it. Jelly Roll, man, he is so human. It is
Yes.
crazy, so human.
He lets his emotion out in his music.
And his wife is hot.
Oh no!
His wife is hot. Jelly, I apologize. You got a hot
You know,
one.
you apologize to the wrong person. You better hope your wife don't see this episode. It'll be the last episode.
Jennifer said she hot too. Say it.
All right. Well, I'm not going to disagree because she is. Have you heard? You know their story, right?
Which one?
Jelly Roll and his wife.
Because I'm not stalker.
He was. Yeah, stock. He was just like out of prison, just trying to get a start and getting his daughter back. And he didn't really have any place to go. He was living in a van, like he was homeless, right?
Yeah.
And then essentially they meet. He's got some other old girl pregnant, and he says, I don't know what's going to happen between us, but I need to get my baby girl out the streets. And his then girlfriend basically fronts a condo, gets a safe place, living environment, so then she can get enrolled in school, and
Wow.
starts that support.
journey.
Yeah. So she has been with him through thick and thin of
They're pretty authentic.
yes.
I think too. Like they're pretty upfront about their relationship and the troubles that they've had and the things that they've gone through.
But that's what makes him so appealing. Yes, he's a great singer. He puts soulful and all that. But when you sit down and talk to him, he is just as natural and true as the words and the music he creates.
I think
So.
he's one of those guys. If you met him on the street, he'd sit down and just have a cup of coffee, kind of with you. He's not.
I could see him doing different genres though too.
But
Oh,
you
yeah.
like him.
I do like him.
He reminds me kind of Post Malone.
No,
a little bit.
Yeah, I think
Little
so.
bit.
You said no.
no,
So
We're gonna get that Post Malone worked in here one way or another.
maybe. But go ahead. Like I said, to be honest with you, I don't know hardly anything about Post Malone, and that's maybe my fault because of the situation of seeing him as is genre jumping, and I don't like genre jumping.
Google is just a fingertip away.
What about people that Dolly Parton has helped? So you have like Miley Cyrus and Shabuzi. What about them? How do you feel about?
You talking when they experiment with Dolly Parton songs?
No. Dolly Parton is like their godmother, and
Oh.
so she's kind of helped guided their. Like Miley Cyrus has kind of dipped into some of the country aspects. She's done Jolene and things like that, and then Shabuzi does kind of have like a rapish.
I used to
country
be a
vibe.
Miley Cyrus fan before she did that whole stick her tongue out and
Started riding around on a
jumping
ball.
around. What was that? Who was it that she was on stage with and did that song? He's is one of the judges on The Mask.
Alan Thicke.
Something like that. No, not Alan. Alan. It wasn't Alan Thicke, the dad on Growing Pains.
What?
His
son.
Their family. I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
Anyway, so after she did that, I lost respect.
She's admitted though that was like a rough period for
Yeah.
her, like a transition. She doesn't come off.
Well,
that way
I don't know
anymore.
her, so I don't really care. But I'm just saying, the thing is though, is that that's her career. She needs to do what she wants to. But she's an adult. She has common sense. Because what got me was little girls were looking up to her as a role model, and then she gets up there looking like some little $2 hoe and acting like the way she did, to not let little girls see that, hey, you know what, that's appropriate.
I'm not disagreeing with you that like as an adult you make decisions, and I totally get that, but I think you have to also take into account Hollywood. There are handlers around. The amount of substances
She has a
that
backbone.
the amount of substances that are introduced to those kids at a very early age, along with other things that they grow.
Well,
and have
that's
to,
on her mama and her daddy at that point, and that was Billy Ray Cyrus. So she was kind of growing up around that stuff to start with, I think.
Well, and it seems
No.
like his newest marriage is somebody younger than Miley.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't even know how old Molly is. How old is Molly? I mean, she
check.
Googles it all the time. So I don't know.
Hey, Siri.
I don't know. All I know is, it's like with Dolly Parton. You know, have you heard of the group called Chapel Hill? Or
Chapel
is
Hill
it,
Gang?
Is it Chapel Hill?
She's 31. by the
Or
way.
Hill Chapel? All right, so there's a group on Chapel Hill, or called Chapel Hill. It's a 3 female group, and they were on America's Got Talent, and they did a amazing job. And they did a song that was a answer to Jolene.
Really?
And but they're young, and they were able to get in there, and it sounds like true, real country. I think they're called Chapel Hill.
I'll have to look. I just wanted to correct for people who are going to be listening, be like, that's not true. So Fire Rose is her name, and Miley Cyrus is 31. Fire Rose is 36, so I guess she is a tad bit older than Miley Cyrus, but
Barely out of
Billy Ray
pants.
is 62.
How old is Billy?
62.
Geriatric. Have you ever heard of Soggy Bottom Boys? They got a real banger
I'm
out
so
there.
sorry that he said that geriatrics of 60-something years old fandom. It's just,
Oh, my bad.
you're gonna make the 60-something year
Can't
olds.
bring
No,
some
I'm
people on
not.
the podcast.
I've said some things people ain't gonna agree to, but I mean, it's an opinion.
This is my opinion.
Wait till you're 62, sir.
I got plenty of time.
I'm not old. No. So yeah, there's lots of different music out there, and getting back to the main point of what would people be surprised that I like. It is. I like ballroom dancing music too, and watching ballroom dancing from Miami.
That's super cool.
Ballroom dancing gets fierce.
Okay.
Yes, and the art form of it, especially Argentine ballroom dancing, is crazy. So-
You ain't got to be that serious.
They get serious.
They got money
It's an
and
art
stuff.
for sure.
What?
Huh?
It's an art for sure. To be
Well,
able to do that with your body.
Well, and then they'll start you like at 2 or 3 years old.
Yeah, you see those kids that do the ballroom. It's wild.
The fact that you have to start that early, you're taking a childhood away from somebody.
It depends. I do think there are some kids that above that and wanted.
My
to do that.
daughter tells me to this day that she wishes that we had gotten her into gymnastics, and we never did. Because, we didn't want to take away playtime with friends and school. And she said, I really wish you had done that for me when I was a kid.
You know what? She grown. She can take her own lessons now.
Ain't nobody want to, she want to be in the Olympics, compete stuff. You ain't going to be doing that now.
Is there an age limit to being in the Olympics?
No.
All right, then.
There's
She got a job to do and pay bills.
You know what? So do they. They pay their bills.
No, they got sponsors.
Well, because they're good. They're good.
Yeah,
Okay.
They have sponsors.
Yes, if you would like to sponsor this podcast, please contact Roxanna Jenna.
At PizzaWorld.com.
Pizza World, Iowa. No, online.com or Iowa.com.
I don't know.
Can't remember it.
We screwed that one up bad, though.
We're tired. We're tired. That's what it is.
We'll work on that. We'll work on that.
Like we work on everything else. I love that even though we still have these mishaps where audio doesn't work or the video's messed up and so I have to change different audios and stuff, even though it's happening, I feel like the quality of the podcast has slowly gotten a little bit better.
Because we're professional.
Yeah, it's so professional.
No, very first episode we said we are not professional,
Yeah,
and
we
we will
said
never
that.
claim that we are not professional.
We have grown.
So when the audio changes halfway through or the video changes halfway through, family knows. Family knows. Something happened.
If you'd like to sponsor us so we could bump up the budget
It's
for...
the us part. That's why I need. He come in here on the guest, and he's talking about we us.
I'm getting you paid. You just let me do my thing over here. You want to sponsor us. We'll be able to bump up the budget
Where's my
for...
pen at so we can change it to Jeff's Big World? Because I think
You heard that, family? He wants to make it Jeff's Big World. All right? I didn't say that. He said it. All right? Right there.
Oh,
You want bargain basement Big World? Go ahead.
Bargain basement. I think
If I knew
we're
any
rounding
better...
out the episode now. I think we're
I'd almost be
at
hurt.
bargain basement.
I'm not bargain basement. No, man. I'm
Kmart Blue Light Special.
And Kmart is good. We good.
Did you know they closed the last one? They just got a little outlet store in Guam and
I think that,
and
yeah, I
Florida.
heard
There's no
somebody.
blue light special over here today, folks.
There's no. That's
It's
been
like
that
Blockbuster. They still got that one in Oregon.
Nope, that closed down.
When they're closing?
When
When you got time to know all this?
Because I get on the phone.
Because that's
I
your
got
life. That's
news.
the only thing that you ever
I'm
do.
Educated.
He ain't got no life, family. He just gets on the. Quit. Why are you pointing at the timer?
She want to go home. She's trying to get.
All right, fine. So, thank you for joining us for another edition of Ricky's Big World. We'll leave the front light on and the door unlocked. But you coming in here cha-cha and doing all that other good stuff, come on in here and order that pizza. You hear me? Say hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
All right, I'm done. I'm going back to Louisiana.